Hello, everyone,
Hi.
and welcome to this edition of the Tacoma-Pierce County Sports Museum Locker Room Chat. And hello again, I am Jay Strickers, your honored host for today's Locker Room Chat, and we are extremely excited to have our guest today on October 29th, 2025, Audrey Vaughn. What a great honor and privilege that it is for me today to interview someone who has not only witnessed a century of history, but also actively participated in sports and raised a family deeply engaged in athletics. Audrey, welcome to the Locker Room Chat, and I'm truly honored to be able to chat with you today.
Well, thank you.
You bet, Audrey. So let's go ahead and start a little bit where we always start with locker room chats, and that's kind of the early years, your early life. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up, what schools you attended.
Well, I grew up in the north end of Tacoma, about 6 blocks from the Proctor Street district. And I went to Washington Grade School, Mason Junior High School, as they were called in those days, and Stadium High School, one of three or four high schools that were open at that time in Tacoma. I really like the North End. I have always lived in the North End. I've never lived any place else except the North End of Tacoma, other than when I was first married and lived in different apartments.
Wonderful. So you're a youngster in Tacoma in the late 20s, early 30s, and sports. How did you get involved in sports? What were the first sports that you participated in? Where did you go to participate in your sports?
Well, I really got involved in sports after I was married because my husband played sports and he played in various teams. At that time, and when I was first married, it really women's sports were just beginning to start. And I was married in 1946, and that was the year that I played fast pitch, and that was the first really organized sports that I actually got involved in. So really, it was through just people that I knew that I went into sports.
So let me ask you this question, Audrey. We all know about slow pitch. So you played fast pitch
Yes,
in
I played fast pitch. That was
where
where they threw the ball underhanded, but real fast.
absolutely.
It
Uh,
was so much fun.
what fields would you have played on in those days?
What field? Well, we played, oh golly.
Was
I
it
see we played on Stanley Field, I think. Gosh,
sure?
hard to remember
Uh-huh.
throughout the years.
You bet. So fast pitch was your first sport that you truly got involved in.
Well,
Uh,
in organized, really, or what I would
yes,
call organized sports. I played, say, baseball at Mason, but just within the school because women didn't play other schools. We just played other grades.
amen. Did you say baseball?
Yeah, and just softball.
Yeah, yeah, you betcha. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
So, Audrey, you mentioned Lincoln Electric, fast
yes,
pitch.
that's our sponsor.
Uh, positions, did you have one position that you liked the most, you favored the
Well, I
most?
played practically all the time. I played second base,
Uh-huh.
and I liked it. I liked the infield, and because I don't know, it just seemed to be a little more active than the outfield. So the coach
Yeah.
let me play in second second base.
So you had to have some footwork down though to turn that double play, didn't you?
Oh yes, yeah, it was well, it was it wasn't a hot spot like the third base, but you had to keep alert.
Absolutely. Uh, how about some of the players that you played with or coaches you can remember? teams you played against in that era that stand out?
Oh boy. Well, the main one that I remember was the one in the regional that we played in Oregon after we won the Washington State, because it was memorable because we got, well, pardon the expression, slaughtered. We didn't do well in the regional at all, but it was a good experience and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the girls, I mean, we wanted to win, but we didn't, and we always went out after the game and had fun. So it was a very enjoyable experience, and I would say if anybody was leaning towards sports, I would definitely suggest it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're underplaying the success that your teams had in that era. I've got this down that you were state champs for a few years in a row in 45 and 46. Is that correct? In
Yes,
45 and 46.
yes, we were. So it was very, very satisfying, so to speak. We had
Yeah.
a very nice coach, very patient, very knowledgeable about fast pitch. He helped us a lot. He was a neighborhood man, and he
Uh,
was a Tacoma police officer. And we don't know, he just was compatible to everybody. So,
Wonderful. Can you remember his name, Audrey? Your
beg
coach's
pardon?
name? You remember your coach's name?
Oh, sure, it was Bob Ugle. He was a police officer on the Tacoma Police Force, and he was a neighborhood man. So he knew some of the players before he started coaching, and
Sure.
his son was our bat boy. So it
Yeah,
was just a real, just kind of a happy group.
you bet. So
There
there
was
had
never
to,
any really bad words among us or anything. So, which is unusual for a bunch of women, I guess.
oh, it's not just, I don't think that's gender specific.
No,
Uh,
I think no,
so
no.
you just had a lot of fun playing and
Yes, we
competing.
did. We
That's
did.
that's wonderful. Uh, do you remember any of the teams that you played on those championship years, or what cities they came from, or what fields you may have been on playing?
Well, the fields were just local fields like Stanley, and
Yep.
I think we played at Jefferson a couple
Yep.
times,
Uh-huh.
Park and Jane Clark. Just the ones around the north end are the ones other than Stanley. We played Stanley a lot. That was
Uh-huh.
a main field. So
You bet.
I
Well,
don't know
those
I can't remember what our home field was.
sure. Well, those are all fields that are still there today
Oh,
for
yes.
kids to
Yes.
participate in, which is just wonderful. So
Yes.
that's uh, that's how did golf become a part of your repertoire at sports?
How did it go? Well, after I had my children, I didn't work outside the home. I just stayed home and raised the three boys, and my husband worked for the phone company. And I don't know, it just kind of involved just to have an outside interest.
Sure.
That's how, and as far as the 44, I mean, 45 and 46 years, I was just had graduated from Stadium, and I was working at McCord Field at the time and I got involved through actually the clerk that was at Stadium. Her name was Mary Ricano, and Marion Riscano, and actually I got started through her. We ran kind of it ran around together, and when she joined, her brother sponsored us. The Lincoln Electric sponsored us. So
Yeah.
how did I get started in golf?
Yes.
Okay, I got started in golf through my sister. She took me golfing out at Meadow Park after I retired and stayed home. And I started out at the little nine out of Meadow
Yeah.
Park. The
Mhm.
little, she wouldn't let me get on the big 18 yet. You got to stay on this this course for about a year. Then you can go on the big course. And that's actually what I did.
Yeah.
And that's how I got started in golf. I played once a week with her, and I just loved it. Just loved it. It met so many nice people, and it was fun. There was just enough competitiveness to satisfy me, so to speak. Um, I wasn't one of these that had to win. I love to win. Who doesn't? But I didn't really have to. So that's really how I got started.
So, did golf come easy for you, or was it a real challenge at first? Or
Golf doesn't come easy for anybody, as you should know.
yes,
You have your ups. Say you have your ups and downs, but
yes,
eventually, if you can, it's best to, to take lessons. But I never did, other than from the people I played with. But it
mhm,
satisfied my competitiveness. I really
sure,
wasn't that competitive, but I love to win, but I love to play more.
yeah, you bet. And then the senior games came around, and as I
Yes,
remember, you were inspirational in the beginning of senior games and activities for our
Pierce.
senior
We
citizens.
we did Pierce County and also state on the senior games.
Sure.
The instigator was a member of our Highlands Golf Course. The lady that started the Pierce County was it was instrumental in starting the Pierce County chapter of the
Uh-huh.
senior game the first
Yeah.
year. Then the second year, we also did Pierce County and state, which was interesting. But it was just on in infancy. It wasn't in like it is today. It's so cut and dried. It was just kind of learn as you go along, so to
Sure.
speak.
Was what sports were involved in the senior games that you played in?
Well, golf was the main one.
Uh-huh.
That
Yeah.
really was the only one that I participated in. Was the
Yeah.
9-hole golf one, and that's the one that they asked me to kind of kind of lead, so to speak. And
Well,
then they added 18 holers the next year. I never played the 18, just the
sure.
9 holes. So.
So you must have had some success, Audrey, when you were playing senior golf. Could you tell us about some of the tournaments that you were
Well, I
involved
really
in?
only played in two. I
Uh,
played in the Pierce County, and also the following year I played in the state,
uh-huh.
and it was just 9 holes. And I
Yeah.
did have success. I won both of them, so that would be successful. But there weren't, I have to say, there weren't too many competitors the first few years until it caught on. Then after it caught on, they expanded it into other sports. I don't know really which ones, but I do know they added sports.
Yeah. Uh, there must have been some pretty good camaraderie that you had with the people that you were playing with and competing against.
Oh yeah, we did. I mean, everybody was friendly, and nobody was really what I would call cutthroat. It just they were out there to play the sport and have fun,
You
and
bet.
that's really the attitude that a lot of them had. So that's the attitude I had. Hey, let's have fun. So we did. So,
Well, that's a lesson for everybody involved in athletics at any level, any
oh
time, isn't it?
yes, I think
Well,
so.
Audrey, you're being a little bit coy and a little bit nice to us here. I've got this down that you won a gold medal in the 74 to 79 group, Washington State golf champion. Also, Fort Steilacoom 9-hole champion, 97 and '02.
You've
Madrona
been
Course
busy.
nines champion. Do any of you have any remembrances of those and who you were competing against or the courses you were on or moments that were really, really satisfying for you?
No, I really don't remember a heck of a lot about it, but because I was out just for the camaraderie and fun,
Yeah.
and I was hoping I'd win.
Okay, let me ask you this question. What was the strength of your golf game? What was the one thing you could do well? Was it driving? Was it getting onto the green? Were you a putter that could make things go, or was it just everything you did well? You just relaxed and
No,
enjoyed.
I didn't do everything well. I did everything to the best of my ability, is all I can say. And at times, sometimes my chipping wasn't so good. Sometimes the putting was horrible. It just some days I could just do almost everything right, then the next day it's everything wrong. Well, you played enough golf to know that.
Most certainly have. Most certainly have. So looking back, it looks like fast pitch, baseball, and golf were your two big sports when you were playing and growing up. Is there any sport you wish that you would have played or had the opportunity to play that is
I
out
think I
there
would have
now?
liked to. I think Ray, I would have liked to ski. I went skiing once, and I loved it. But getting there and the expense of the equipment and everything, and raising three boys, like you just did. They weren't interested in skiing particularly. At least
Uh-huh.
I didn't wasn't aware of it, and so
Yeah,
we never. Well, really, we didn't have time on the weekends because we had Little League.
yeah, sure.
So we just
You had little leagues. Well, let's talk about your family then in sports a little bit, because obviously you've got a bunch of boys, sons, and they played athletics. And do you think that your involvement in athletics influenced how you raised your kids in the sports that they got involved in?
only to the point where if we didn't push the boys, if they wanted to play something, we encouraged them. But if they didn't want to, now Michael played soccer for a while until he broke his leg, and then he didn't want anything to do with it, which I can't blame him. He was in the fifth grade and he played soccer. And the English coaches always said you never get hurt in soccer. Well, first thing he did was break his leg.
Yeah, there
But
you go.
he went on and played baseball and basketball and everything like that. So
Hmm.
they just picked and choose what they wanted to do, and we
Sure,
encouraged them.
you bet.
So
Um, were there some rivalries amongst your sons when they competed against one another with
I
things
don't,
around
I
the
don't,
house?
uh, I wasn't aware of any really bad rivalry because every other year they played on the same team. Mike was a pitcher, and Dan was the catcher, and our little one was the bat boy. So they were all involved. So it's been a family recreation, is what it's been all
Yeah.
our lives. That
So
was
you
our weekends.
so you had the battery there. You had Mike on the mound and Dan behind the plate, and you had the
Yep.
bat boy. And then mom and dad were watching and cheering them on.
Well, my in the younger years, my husband was the coach
Yeah. Okay. Then you had the coach too.
in the younger years, but after they got
Yeah.
older and everything, and the competition got a little bit steeper, and but the kids never complained about their dad, so they
No.
must have liked him as a coach.
Yeah. Well, quite often now you see kids out playing sports and at whatever level, and you're going, that is just good living, just
Yeah.
having fun and not worried about it and competing. And it sure sounds like your family had that when they were all growing up.
Oh yes. Mhm. They all stayed involved. We were busy on the weekends,
I'm
sometimes
sure
too
you,
busy on different teams.
I'm sure you were. Now, your son's had some serious accolades in sports too. We know Danny certainly became a superb soccer player, pro soccer player. Uh, I've got him here, Wilson High School, UW captain, 4-year letterman. Geez, played professionally. Your thoughts on when your son Danny reached that kind of a goal? That had to be pretty special for you and your family.
Oh, yes, it did. When he was drafted to play professional sports, it was a proud moment for us, a very proud moment
Yeah.
because they had the only one time I asked Dan, I said, well, why don't you go back and get that one credit that you need to get your diploma? And he said, well, why? I'm happy in what I've been doing and I'm happy in what I'm doing. And I'm probably never going to use a teaching certificate. Well, he didn't say it in those words, but that's what the gist was. So he
Yeah.
never did. And he's been very successful without it. So I'm happy and he's happy and the whole family was happy.
It sounds like he learned some of that from his mother, from talking
Well,
about your involvement in sports and what you enjoyed so much about it, just the camaraderie, the competition, and
mm,
etc.
well, my husband was involved in sports too,
So tell us
very much.
about that. Tell us about Tex and his involvement in sports.
Well, he played on quite a few different teams, and several times you could pick up a couple players if you went into the championship, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes he was doing that. And then when our little boy Jimmy was 8, he wanted to play soccer. Well, he would have to compete with the 12-year-old, 10 and 12-year-olds like Danny did. So we started an 8 and under league, and it was very successful because there were a lot of parents that wanted their younger ones to play. So they joined the 8 and under. It was very successful.
8 and under. So
Yes.
things have progressed, haven't they, to younger and younger,
Oh,
you
I
know,
guess now they get them up to about 4 years old.
well, when you start playing t-ball, that's about 4 or 5 years old. Yes, it is. And
It
they're just
is.
having fun, just like you said. They're just
Yeah,
having fun,
just having
enjoying it.
fun. And
Yeah.
the parents keep involved with their family.
Amen. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Sports and family and your longevity. If you don't mind me saying, I think you've been at this for 99 years now. So you've
Yep.
seen an awful lot of sports and families and activity coming back. So looking back over 100 years of athletics and sports here in Tacoma and Pierce County, uh, do you think sports had a real role in your happiness and in how you raised your family and the enjoyment that your family had together?
Well, I don't think it was deliberate. I think it was just the fact that our family enjoyed sports, all of us. I mean, there wasn't anybody really, being left out. So if you wanted to play, you played. If you didn't, we didn't push you. So, and they all like sports, and I mean, Mike and Dan now both play golf,
Yeah.
golf, and that's I think one of their what at least in Mike and Ann's, they both play golf, so they really spend a lot of time on the course. I guess I don't know, so they
Yeah.
seem to both enjoy it, and everybody that plays it enjoys it most of the time. And I asked Dan sometimes how he played. He said, don't ask, so to say. But then that's golf.
That is golf. Now, did the boys ever caddy for you when you were playing and they were growing up?
No, no,
No.
no. Uh, Dan took me out at Furcrest a couple times, but
Mhm.
I don't hit the ball very far. It takes forever to play. He's
Well, what do they say about golf? The great majority of golfers are just out there having fun and enjoying it, just
yes.
like you.
I
You
go
were,
out to have fun in the camaraderie,
yeah,
of course. So
you betcha. Um, so, family, husband, kids, grandkids. Uh, what's your hope that your descendants and grandkids, great grandkids have as far as a memory of you and your participation and inspiration and
Well,
in athletics?
just that I didn't take it too seriously. I mean, if I did it, got a bad shot, I didn't throw my clubs in the pond like they show in the cartoons. So you just you just accept the bad shot and go along to the next one. Forget it.
Yeah. Well, it
If
isn't just,
if you can.
there you go. It isn't just the cartoons where people are throwing clubs into the pond.
Yes. I've
This is,
never literally seen anybody do it. I hope I never do, but
yeah,
if they do, if they lose their temper that badly, they shouldn't be playing golf.
yeah. So, Audrey, you've had a lot of success in athletics. You've been an inspiration for our community in developing senior athletics. And you've certainly been wonderful within your family and the inspiration you have put there for them. I've got a quote here where you said something along the line of, I golf to get out of the house and to meet people. So your philosophy in athletics and family, etc., so forth. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I think you have to have both. You have to have your family, and that's naturally going to come first. But you've got to have something just for you also. Like I use belonging to Meadow Park and Highlands. It's been wonderful because the people are so nice, and you have a social contact outside of the family. Something to, uh, well, just for you. You need that. You need something that's just okay. This is what I can do. I'm going to go play golf and have fun, and I did. I had a lot of fun, and the people at the golf courses are wonderful. I don't care what course you go to, the people that run it are good. They're very helpful for you, and you'd enjoy them, and they enjoy you. Be happy in what you do, or do something else. That's all I can say.
Have you ever
Pardon?
had a hole in one, Audrey? Have
Yes,
you
I
had
did
a hole?
one time
So tell
in
us about this.
1999. I did. I was I was playing through Highland Ladies Golf Club, and we were having what they call a scramble with the men's club. And we were on hole number 5, which is a very short hole. It's only about 65 yards, and it's over the water.
Well, yes, it is. I said, yes, it is over the water. You make it
Yeah,
sound like it's an easy
it's
hole. It's
only
not.
about 65 yards the way the women play it. So I used my little wedge and well, hit the ball like I always do, I thought, and it went in the hole.
There you
And that
go.
was my hole in one.
So
So
you make that sound so simple. There's a lot of water there. That green, leans right back into the pond. If you don't put your ball right on that green, you're in trouble.
well,
And you got a hole in one.
Jay, I think a hole in one is part accuracy and a heck of a lot of luck.
There you go. Well, you mentioned those two golf courses, the Highlands and also Meadow Park. And those are still wonderful courses here in Tacoma and Pierce County. And there's
Mm-hmm.
still an enormous following of people that are there and participating. And the driving range at Meadow Park is just over the top with participation. And of course, we know the Highlands is just a wonderful place now to go and to play golf
Oh
and
yeah,
meet people. Yeah.
yes, fun.
So, Audrey, you mentioned that you were playing a scramble at the Highlands and it was with the men's club. So, competition with the fellas, did you ever have a little sense of maybe you want to beat them or they felt they needed to outshow you or any rivalries along that line?
Well, the people that we were playing, we were the team. We were teammates, so we were all supposed to be working together. But yes, I have played against men, and I just play my game, and naturally they can hit the ball further and harder. I just try to keep the idea that, hey, this is fun. I'm not going to get involved in a big competition with men because I can't outdrive them. I can output some of them,
Ah,
but can't can't outdrive them.
I bet you could output them, and that's where the hole ends right there on the green. You bet. So, Audrey,
Okay.
thank you for allowing us to chronicle your remarkable journey as a woman who thrived in sports and also in family life, and allowing for the Tacoma-Pierce County Sports Museum to preserve your living legacy, one that will continue to inspire many future generations. This
Thank
kind,
you.
Thank you, Audrey, and this concludes today's presentation. And again, we want to thank everyone for joining us for another edition of the Locker Room Chat, highlighting the life and times of the indomitable Audrey Vaughn. Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you, Ray, for those closing remarks.